This intro has to be one of my favorite top gospel intros of all time. And it sounds something like this. And this is Shout Unto God by Marvin Sapp. It's in the key of F sharp. And from this intro, we can gain a bunch of knowledge, a bunch of different voicings, substitutions, passing chords, you name it, right? There's a whole bunch of things that we can pull out from this introduction and apply to our daily playing, okay? Now, I like thinking about the beginning of this introduction as being in the key of B flat major. Right, we're sort of cycling through different keys until we finally arrive to the key of the song, which is on F sharp. So we start off on B flat major, and we go from the 2 to the 3 to the 6. And we're actually going to repeat this again in a different key in this same introduction, right? We're going from the 2, which is a C minor, to the 3, which is a D, which we will actually play as a dominant, to the 6, which is G minor. So what are the voicings that we can learn from this section? Right, we play this melody to land on C minor, or the 2 of B flat, and this voicing right here, it utilizes the left hand in this open manner, right? We have the 1, the 5, and the 10th. And I really like this voicing for left hand chords because it frees up the type of shapes that you can do with your right hand. Usually we're playing one note and we tend to feel that it sounds empty, but simply by playing this 1, 5, and 10th, we give body to the chords that we play, right? So that's the first chord. Next chord, like I said, is a D dominant. And what we're going to do here is actually play an upper structure triad, which I've spoken about in other videos. And the theory behind this is that the left hand is going to play the dominant chord. And all you need to play this dominant chord is the root, the 3rd, and the dominant 7th. Technically, you don't even need the root, right? You can just play the 3rd and the dominant 7th. And then the right hand is going to play a triad. In this case, the triad is a minor 6 away from the root. So a minor 6 away would be, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, minor. Right? You can think about it like this as a minor 6, or you can simply think it's 4 half steps to the left of the root. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to be playing a B flat major triad, in this case in second inversion on the right hand, in combination with this dominant voicing for D7, okay? And like I said, you can even omit the root, because we technically have it up here as well. So those are the 2 first chords. And we land on the 6, which is G minor. And here I'm using that same voicing for the left again, right? The root, the 5th, and the 10th. My right hand is just playing the extensions that make this a G minor 7 chord. And just from this first progression of the introduction to Shout Unto God, we learn different voicings. Like, let's say we were playing a 7-3-6 instead. Again, we're starting off in B flat. So the 7 would be an A minor 7 flat 5, or A half diminished. And this is the sound that we tend to hear in gospel, right? Something like this. 7, 3, 6. We can substitute instead of playing something like, we can substitute that 3 that we just learned before the 6. Another voicing, which is very popular in gospel. This voicing right here, it's basically the same chord, just different inversions or different positions to the notes of the chords. Right? You can see we have the B flat triad up here. And down here, all we have is that D7 voicing. So let's move on to the second part of the introduction. This second part is actually the exact same thing, but in a different key. Now we're in the key of A flat. Instead of B flat, we're down on A flat, and we're playing a 2, 3 to the 6. This is the 2, same voicing as before. The 3, same voicing as before, to the 6. Right? It's a slightly different voicing, but you can play the same voicing. And we can actually repeat this same progression over and over again, switching between different keys, right? In this case, we're going down by 2 half steps between the keys. We started on B flat, now we're on A flat. We can bring it down to F sharp or G flat, right? And this serves as a practice method to learn these upper structure triads or these 2, 3, 6 progressions, for example. Let's bring it down to E major. Right? We can repeat this throughout the whole piano and even get through all the keys, just learning this simple progression. So what's the next part of this introduction? It goes something like this. Now, what are we playing here? Now we're officially in the key of F sharp major, and we start off on the 2, which we're playing as an A flat minor 7. Very simple voicing is just a B major over A flat. And I really like this section of the introduction because of the way that our hands move in contrary motion, right? Our left hand is going to the left, and our right hand is going to the right. We're starting off on this A flat minor 7. That's the 2. Then we're going to the 1. Our left hand is going down to F sharp, right? From A flat to F sharp. And our right hand is simply going to play a C sharp major chord, right? And from this chord, we can learn a different voicing for the 1, right? Usually we play the 1, something like this, or we make it a major 7 chord, or even a major 9. But a different voicing for this 1 chord is playing the 5, which is a C sharp over that 1. And it gives us that different type of sound. It's technically a 9-ish type of sound without the 7. Right? So we went from the 2 to the 1. Next chord, it's a flat 7, but with a suspended type of sound. Now this chord, again, is just a combination of chords. We're playing a D major over E. And that gives us the E9 sus4. Now this D major, the way I think about it when I want a 9 sus4 type of sound, a suspended type of sound, is, right, I'm playing the E, that's my root. All I do is I go 2 half steps to the left, which is D, and I form a D major triad. And And that's something that we hear as a substitution for, let's say, a 5 chord. Let's imagine E was a 5 chord, the 1 would be an A. Okay, I'm going through a tangent right now, but right here, that's all I want you guys to capture. In order to get that 9sus4 sound, we go down 2 half steps from the root of that chord and we play a major triad. Okay, so that's that next chord. So we started off on the 2 to the 1 to the flat 7 suspended. Now the next chord is going to be the opposite of what we're doing now. We're going to play a D on the left hand, which is the flatted 6th, but the right hand is going to play a major triad that is 2 half steps to the top of D. Okay, so 2 half steps to the top would be 1, 2, E, and we're playing a major triad. This is one of the variations for this chord, right? And this is the 6-9 sharp 11 chord. So we started on the 2. If we follow the melody, we would play something like this, right? So, sorry. Something like that. In this case, we're playing 2 to the 1 to the flat 7 suspended, then to the flat 6 as a 6-9 chord. But in this case, I actually want to play it as a 9 chord. And this 9 chord sort of serves as a passing chord that leads us to the 5. And one thing I want you guys to notice is that D is actually a tritone away from A flat. And what is A flat in relation to F sharp? It's the 2. And usually the most common progression is the 2, 5 to the 1, right? So instead of doing a 2 to the 5, we're doing a D, which is a flatted 6, which is a tritone away, to the 5. Okay, I hope you guys are understanding. It's a little bit confusing sometimes, but I hope you guys are following. So we did 2 to the 1, flat 7, flat 6, to the 5. Now this voicing for the 5 is another 9sus4 chord. Now remember, what's the formula for this 9sus4? All we're doing is playing a half step or 2 half steps down from the root chord, or the root note. Sorry about that. The root note, we go down 2 half steps. 1, 2. It's a B, so we're going to be playing a B on our right hand as a triad. But in this case, we're doing a different voicing. We're adding different extensions to this B chord, right? We're adding the major 7th and the major 9th, and we're doing that all over the 5. Okay, so we did and then we resolve that 5 into the C sharp 13 flat 9. Now this chord is another type of upper structured triad. In this case, we're doing the C sharp 7 in the left hand, and we're going to play a triad that is 3 half steps down from the root. So this is the root. We're going 1, 2, 3, B flat. We're going to play a B flat, as our triad. It gives us this really jazzy type of 5. Some people even play a G minor, which would be a tritone away from C sharp. That gives us a flat 9, sharp 11 type of sound, right? It's a whole bunch of endless possibilities with these triads, right? We have a B flat, a G minor. We could even combine both. And then to begin the song, we go from a 6 or a 4 over 6, 5 over 7, and back to the 1. Now I'll play the progression slowly, that way you guys can capture it, and hopefully you can take something from this lesson and apply it. And I encourage you guys to take these different voicings and try to apply it to your playing, maybe at church or while you practice, and experiment with this, and that way you guys can amplify your musical vocabulary. So let's go slowly again.